Okay, engaging product management.
Right, so we started talking about how to engage product management in agility, and especially with respect to the product owner role. Quite often Agile is seen as a development-only kind of thing, or maybe the product manager goes away on vacation and comes back to find out that their team doesn't go on Agile. What do I do now? So we talked about a number of things, just product management and product owner role in general, but the question became a little bit more not so much how, but why. So it became more of a selling job, trying to explain the value of agility to the product managers, because that's something that they often do to their customers. So also maybe try it first for a few sprints. We often use this argument with the team, just try a few sprints, see how it goes, and you could try the same approach with product managers. Another approach, demonstrate that as an Agile team is actually outperforming teams that are not Agile, so they can see the value there. One of the arguments that you get lots of, just a little diagram here, product manager here, and the development team here. A lot of the arguments that you get from product managers is that they spend so much time focusing outwards from the organization that they don't have the time to focus inwards. So what to do there is, so we start talking about some scaling issues for product management. Very often an alternate second role, a technical product manager role, will be here, and they'll play the product owner role. But that even though they potentially might have come up from development, that it's still really a product manager role, and that they should really be closely aligned with the product management team that's able to represent the customer, but also able to spend quality time with development here, and that the product owner is one voice for the development team.
The monster with, sorry. Maybe tell us how we use it. So we were a number of different sessions.
We had several sessions. We kind of just came together and facilitated. The first thing we did was ask everybody, why were you there? What is it that you want to get out of this? And we started to get some responses. People were interested in the separation of management and teams, and how to get executives and management to the table. How do we get them involved? How do we help them know how to do Agile, how to become more Agile? Someone talked about being Agile, and that was one of the things that came up. Help educating executives. How do we help them understand what's required in order to be effective with the Agile teams, and how to address Agile with large organizations. We talked about how is coaching, Agile coaching with the executive different than Agile coaching on the teams and in the team spaces. And finally, how do we align Agile values and corporate values? And John, just a bit of a tour.
So you can tell them all about props, right? So we went through 25 physical boards we have out there in the hall, and talked about building out what I call a big visual room, which is actually taking your Agile executives, making them sign the manifesto, making them map out their business products and customers, map out their product, their assets, all of these things on this chart. We make them visually flow out their cafeteria and actually visually represent what they're trying to manage. Then we encourage CIOs to do and the executive team to do a stand-up in the middle of that room in public, right, with the teams around them. Then we encourage blowing up the PMO and calling up the management support office and speaking to story cards, and all this kind of stuff is what we talked about. So we did a quick tour, and then we got a lot of really good dialogue about takeaways and questions and such.
We did. So team 2 was one of the fundamental problems is how do we help executives and managers live Agile? And we came up with 5 things in particular that we thought were very important. Executive pairing. So the pairing actually, learn by doing. So if they can learn by pairing, if we can learn by pairing, so can they. The big visual room, and 3 other awesome things. Thanks everyone for participating with us.
How do we Agile coexist with waterfall? Yes. How do we Agile coexist with waterfall?
All or organizations might have other processes. A couple of the key points that came across were that, we can have maybe waterfalls as a place to start, right? That's not necessarily mean that, there is some similarities that Agile has with waterfall in the sense that you have to do some planning, you have to do some work, and you have to show some result. And in doing so, yes, the Agile mindset is different, and it does have other values and principles, but you can think of it as some mini waterfalls. And in doing so, you can do some of the key elements of Agile as a way to get some early results. And then with that early results, you can then get more buy-in, right, and others to see that it does work, right, because it's hard to start from a place where, you're trying to do it all, right. So you can choose your project, you can choose a small project, right, to get some of that early results, right. One of the other ways is to say, for example, removing the word Agile, because that creates barriers in people when, you create and invent something new. So I don't know what that is, it creates fear. So if you remove the word Agile or the labeling of it, it would help people overcome their resistance to Agile and introducing it within an organization as waterfall. Another one is the business. We've had a challenge with business owners and working with business owners, right? And one of the struggles is having the business owners help you prioritize the backlog. And helping the business owners understand that really what they want is to focus on value rather than focusing on they want it all, right? We're working with it would help in adapting, Agile practices within a waterfall organization. Even though the organization is still waterfall, you can have some elements of Agile.